Okay. Hello and greetings to you, viewer from across the tubes. I'm Gnarly Quack, although my friends and enemies call me Carl, and I am once again working on Dr. Strangetest, my testing framework for PHP. And let me just get into the code here. Pretty much gonna pick up where I left off last stream and endeavor to stay a little bit more on topic tonight. But basically, I'm kind of finishing up work on the logger, and the one last thing I kind of had to do, although that could lead into a little bit more work, but the one last thing I had to do was, or wanted to do, was just to clean up how I'm buffering, or clean up how I'm handling buffering of the logger. So basically what that means is, I think I have a test right here. Is here PHP has as part of their built-in library, the ability to sort of buffer output. And so what I also want to do is, so I want anybody writing a test to be able to use those functions quite naturally. But also, if there's output during your test, I want the framework to capture that and then sort of intelligently display it. So right now, if I, if I make the test because the test failed, it's going to show all the output in, let's see here. We should have gotten, oh no, we shouldn't have gotten that, right? Because we started an output buffer here. And then all this output is actually buffered, and then we stop the output buffer. So the framework captured the fact that there was a hello and a what's up, and because the test failed, it showed those. And the assumption being, well, if you're having a problem getting one of your tests to run, then maybe you're doing like output debugging. But many times, right, if I had like 3 tests, let's say test 2. Right? Oops. So in that case, right, all those tests also had output because setup and teardown is run before a retest, but it only shows the output for the failing test. So that's kind of what I'm working on, and I was just thinking about this. So if we have 1, 2, and then in the actual test we have 3, and then we end the output buffer, and then we echo 4, and then we start another buffer, and we echo 5, and then we fail, and then we echo 6, and then 7. I think what we should get is 1, 4, 7, right? So fingers crossed. 1, 4, and 1, 4. I wonder what happened. Oh, 7. That's interesting. I would have thought that 7 would have come as part of the test. So I wonder if that's actually working the way it should be. That was not the tab I wanted open. I thought that turned off the buffer. So let me think about this now. So we got 1, right? We got 1 like we expected. Then we started the buffer. 2 we should not see. 3 we should not have seen. Then we should have So maybe let's just echo. Let me just see what happens there. So 1 1 1. Yeah, I feel like this should be getting. This 4 should be getting snarfed up as part of the test. Right, so we started at 1. Right, we started at 1. I don't know, let's just maybe make this a little consistent. Okay, started at 1. Then we should get 1 again and get 4. So I wonder why. So let's take a look at that. Let's take a look at that. I guess that's a good thing it's not a huge deal, but it doesn't seem like that's how that should be working. And we probably want to take a look at run. So this is going to be what? Run function test. So are we here? It's an instance of a function test and we run function. So we have a setup, right? We start buffering. Then we should start buffering here. Right. I'm not doing something stupid again, am I? Doesn't seem like I am. So am I here? Then I start, or no, wait, we start buffering that, we run the test. Makes me wonder if we maybe need to, like, throw these in a separate buffer. I don't know. But, and then we shift buffering over to the teardown function. So I don't know. Let's maybe check this out. So let us do what test is this? This is going to be this test. Then function is going to equal this test here. So we should just get that test. So let's go into the debugger, because I feel like that's going to be the easiest way to sort this out. So let's break yeah, let's break on source run. Oh, thought I had spelled that incorrectly. 638. All right, so let's take a look at the state logger. It is buffering for setup. There's nothing in the queue right now, which that makes sense. So let's step in there. So that's right. So we should reset the logger now. We should have a string. So let's take a look at this level. It should be 2, right? Okay. That should not be, what did I say? level start, so that we should skip this test. Get the arrays. If level is greater, then somebody else is doing their own. What did we say? Current 1. Oh, is that what's going on here? I think that's what's going on there, right? Because now we're going to set the current level. Right, the current level is, what did we just say, 2? So we're going to pull off the output that's in the setup function, but then we're going to set the current level back to 2. So when we come through, so maybe we need to do this regardless, right? Maybe we don't even care what the current level is, right? Sorry, so just to kind of finish my thought, right? So when we come back in after, when we switch the buffer from the actual, or buffering from the actual test to the teardown function, all right, at this point, level we just said is 2. So when we go through here, we say, okay, the current level is not then the level start, because we just said the current level is 1, which is where it was when we initially started the buffer. So we go here, but then we set that current level to the current level, which is 2, and then we go and we pull off the buffers. And I guess the assumption here was like, oh, well, if we're at 2, I guess I didn't account for the fact that somebody could have like stopped and started some buffers. So maybe we just don't return early there. That's kind of what I'm thinking. Maybe I feel like I want to think about this for a second, but don't return early if if we detect user buffering, I guess. So what do I want to say? It's possible. When switching buffering between functions, it's possible somebody started a buffer in the first function, stopped it in the second function, had some output, and then resumed buffering. In that case, we won't detect the output in our buffer until we stop, until we completely stop our buffering. Which means the output could end up being associated with the wrong buffer. Seems like we need to check our buffer I guess as a consequence, it seems like we might need to check our buffer regardless of Check our buffer. We might need to always check our buffer. Oh no, really? One letter or one word? My OCD is going to make me want to retype that comment to get that word off that bottom line. I'm going to resist it. That's still gonna do it. All right, I'm not gonna waste any more time on that. Okay, so that's I guess what I think about that. I suppose maybe I should just do it, but I don't know. I guess the implication there would be we never need to keep track of the current level. And the fact that, right, well, I guess let's just, so we don't need this, oh, okay, so let's just not, I guess let's just comment this out. And let's see what that does for us. That seems to do it. So we have 1, 1, buffer level 1 and 4, and that's actually with the test now. And then 1, 7. And if we go back and take this failure out, we should just have a clear thing. So I guess that's what we want to do. I guess that is what we want to do. So somebody else is doing their own output buffer. I guess that comment then is completely wrong. So what do we have here? We don't need that check anymore. Those can go away. Oh, that's setting. Okay, I misread that. I read that as like a minus sign. We just need to delete that. Okay, somebody else is doing their own output buffering. So I guess only so I guess I might want to take this to a for loop for level equals where do we get the level here? Well, I guess we don't actually need to greater than guess that's kind of what we're saying. Oh boy, I'm having a hard time typing apparently. So really only the second part of this comment. So well, that's true. We don't want to mess with it. So we check our own buffer, and then put our buffer, and then put their buffer. So we want to pop off the other buffers. Jeez. So we want to pop off their buffers, check our own, and then put their buffers back. So I guess that'll work. I probably need to... Uh-oh. Of course I have a syntax error. Oh, yes, I need to... One that failed. So then we have the output for that failed test, and then we have the output for the teardown. Okay, so that seems okay to me. All right, so we got like a bonus bug fix in there. I feel like though I kind of want to this seems kind of unrelated to the work I was just doing. This is the problem with worrying too much about having a clean git commit history, I guess. All right, so what happens if I do this? Let's play around with Git for a little bit, huh? It's a Saturday night. So we just want to add source, actually. We don't want that actual test. So let's check off a play branch off of work, and then is it cherry pick? So what do? We just do the commit. So so play and then buffering. So yeah, let's cherry pick. Well, that's messy, no doubt about it. No doubt about it. Okay, so here's what we'll do. What I want to do, guess I just want to abort this. Well, let's just stay in play, actually. And so, what did we do? Level start. not start, current. So we just said we want to do that. Don't need that. So that looks like it worked. And then what was our comment? Somebody else is doing their own output buffering. So we want to top off their buffers. Check our own and put their buffers back. All right. So I guess that's essentially right all we did. Okay, so JIT, what was our commit message? Always check and handle our own output buffer. So all right, let's check out work. Let's merge and play. Okay, we're gonna need to stash that output. So basically, we want to get rid of that. So yeah. So where are we here? I feel like that all seems okay to me. What's wrong with that? I guess this is not being extraordinarily helpful. I guess what we want to do is we're gonna end up wanting to yank that. Um, yeah, we're gonna want to yank all that. Where is this? This is in reset buffer. This is where we want to yank this. Actually, I don't think there's anything different here, right? Buffer, yeah, that all looks fine. Okay, so that looks all right. Well, we don't want that, I guess. Right, that function's gone. Oh, is all this still in? It looks like it is. Okay. So this just needs to go away. I think. So we added the buffer. Start buffering, yeah. What is this sync? It's start buffering. So if logger buffer, yeah, that all just gets moved in. End of buffering. Let me just oops. Forgot the all important dash. Well, let's so what do we have here? We've got, yeah, that stuff all just got bumped in. Pretty much all of this should have just gotten bumped in. Because literally all we did was change it into a method. So I guess that's what happened. So that doesn't seem particularly ideal. I guess and what do we say? We said everything looked all right, right? Everything ran. Huh? Was it capital U? Does it not like it because I'm in the middle of a rebase? Okay, well, popping that might have been a mistake, but let's see what happens. Guess it wasn't a mistake. Hopefully I didn't have any unsaved changes in there. Okay, so that looks okay. Oops. Okay, I'm just a little bit weirded out that apparently this got out of sync. I'm not sure why that is, but okay. All right, so I guess with all that, how long did that take? 40 minutes? Well, like I said, Saturday night, right? So I guess we'll go back into the log, and as this comment says, all I did yesterday was add this annoyingly named log buffer class, which literally all that did was take those buffering functions and turn them into a class, and then as a result, that kind of forced me to within the execution of the test suite, instantiate this log buffer class and pass that around to everything. So that's basically what all this did. Which is a little bit annoying, seemed a little bit messy, but that can probably be cleaned up a little bit. I still think it's probably the better way to do things, because now what this means is we can just hang on to this one buffer, I guess, and then just turn buffering on and off as we need to. So I guess maybe the next step is to move properties out of the logger and into the buffer. So I guess that would be all of this stuff. Oops, it's a buffer. So I guess that would be that. So this is going to change to this now. Logger, for the most part, is going to change to that. I guess we're still going to pass that logger in. And we may actually not even need this longer. Well, this actually we will. So no, actually that's not going to work, because we need this buffer needs to know, this logger needs to know that it's being buffered. So I guess maybe one way I can fake this is just and then what we'll do is and here maybe for now we can just assert so Whoops, I did not mean to change that. That should have stayed the same. That should have that. We don't have the Q either, do we? So maybe I'm trying to do this change too small. I guess maybe the first thing to do before I clear that out, is we'll have this, right, we're going to want this to have its own logger. And we're actually going to need the root and then this is also going to need to implement a log outputter. I guess. So let's just... Okay, so this then logger equals a new logger, and it's going to have the root. We want it to log everything, and then I guess we're going to pass it this. I guess that's all it's going to need. I think I may. Well, let's just wait until I need it. So I guess what we could do is we're going to switch logger to this logger. Reset buffer is probably not going to need that anymore. And so I guess what we'll do is we'll return the logger. That's what I'm thinking. And then this is what? End buffering. Actually, I guess we never want to buffer that logger. That's why we're passing ourselves in there. So yes, this is actually all going to move. So buffer. I guess we'll take all of this. And we'll call that buffer source, I guess. Okay, we're not going to need that. So if we, this is going to be buffer source. So we reset it, and then we update the buffer source. And I guess this is a little bit stupid. We could just, I suppose, just do that down here. And let's see what reset buffer does. We should not need this anymore. So this is going to be this. Right, so we grab the level. If the level is less than, or the buffering level is less than the starting buffering level, then we log an error about the buffer being deleted. Oops, we don't need that twice. And then while right, we want to, so then we do the thing where we pop off all the stuff, we get whatever's in the current buffer and clean it out. I suppose we actually really only need to clean the buffer out if we have any input. So then while we have buffers and we pop that off, and I guess oops. Guess we can do that. And then this is going to be buffer source. Okay, so that's format the buffer. Now what's happening here with end buffer? I guess what we want to do is we want to take another logger. This is not particularly useful statement there. So this is going to be this logger source with So let me get back here. So now we actually this is going to go to git log. And I think get events, right? Yeah, get events. Then we're going to put all that stuff into the logger we were passed. And this is going to go to this error. And then we want to set all this to null, that to false. I feel like this doesn't need so much explanation anymore. And I don't know, I guess so I think what I may actually want to do is oops. What I think I might want to do is keep one log around and clear it, but for now, let's just so I think what I'll do here is boy, if I can just get to that L, that's all I want to do. So right now we'll save off this root. And then when we start buffering, I guess what we'll do is assert we may need to do that downstairs, but anyway, otherwise we're going to set, we'll just put a new logger on there, and then we'll return, right, we're returning the logger. Although we may need it there too. So I think that's going to break a lot of stuff. But of course, oh yes, I need to implement the log outputter. Here it is. So most of these are just going to be flat up empty functions, but what I am going to do is if the logger is telling us it wants to output a failure or an error, then we'll set the buffer state to error state to true. Okay, well, I think yesterday I had like over 100, so that's dope. I think I may pop off for a quick break. So yeah, I guess I'm gonna do that. Yeah, I'm gonna take a short break. and I'll be back, well, shortly. So see you in a little bit. Yeah, sorry for busting my timer there. Oops. Okay. All right, so I guess I'll start off, oops, in log. So I guess I'll move this back in here. Oh, yeah, so, like, I guess, okay, I'm gonna have to... assert that as set, which is somewhat obnoxious. I think I'm gonna need that here, but let me just pop that out. Let me see how much that fixes. Not much, apparently. So did I not assert that? Oh. I did, but on a non-existent, so let's see how much that fixes. On a I did make an assertion, but on a non-existent property, so 710. I forgot to change. Oh, yeah. Here at the end of all things, I forgot to change that. So why does this still think this is potentially null? $685. Did I not? Oh. Where did I assert that then? I guess I asserted that here. So if I get rid of that, that causes more stuff. What am I at? 55? I guess so. On 752. Okay. I suppose maybe I can move this assertion down here. So we only make it when we need to. And then, what, 729? So we needed to put that up here too. So I feel like that should clear up all of that. Maybe not quite. What line is this? 723. So what's going on in 685? Wait, where did I just paste that? Oh, I pasted that in the wrong function. Okay. I kind of want to just do that, I guess. 623. That's this root. And that should clear up the log, I think. Or not. Oh, I guess okay. All right. You and PHP Stan. And like I said, I thought I would need that there. Maybe I only need it up here. Is it smart enough to figure out? Because right here, otherwise I've explicitly set it, so... No, it doesn't know this. Okay. Okay. So now we need to pass the current working directory in there. I should fix that up. And then here, we should get a logger, which we are now going to use to buffer to, and then we're saying, so this is a little bit kind of the weird thing, I guess. So we're saying start buffering is going to give me a new logger that I can, like a buffered logger. And so then I can log anything I want to that, right? And the bufferer keeps a reference to that, right? And so when I end buffering, I pass in basically the logger that I want the buffered logger to log to. So then it's kind of like, well, right in this case, right now what we're doing is we're setting the internal buffer or the internal logger in the buffer to null. So that sort of makes this just an invalid logger now that's hanging out. But what I kind of think I'd like to do is just have that buffer hang on to that log and maybe just, or the logger, and just clear that out. But it just sort of makes, I feel like it sets up this weird situation where like there's not like a clean way to make sure this logger isn't misused by the user. So I don't know, it's kind of a little bit of a non-ideal API, I guess. I don't know. I mean, I guess the other option is to maybe, with start buffering, maybe pass in the logger that you want buffered, and then, I don't know. I don't know. I feel like there's a little bit of a cleaner way to handle that, but I'm just not sure what it is. I guess. Well, I don't know. I'm thinking, right, this could maybe hand out a reference to the logger, although that would only matter if this accepts a reference. So it's like pass back in the original logger, but then, right, there's no guarantee the original logger gets passed back in. Unless, like, we implement... Right, I mean, I guess the buffer could implement the logger interface directly. I don't know. Let's just push through with this though. Let's just get this working. All right, so now all the work is going to be here and run. And I kind of, well, I don't know. I kind of want to work backwards forward because these line numbers become, but I really shouldn't be changing line numbers too much. So this is going to turn into logger equals that. Then we're going to pass in this logger, and then we're going to pass in the state logger. Then we are on 315. This is going to be the same thing. Three and 5, 3, 4, 5. Uh, 380. That looks okay. 409. Um, 409, 441. $463. Uh, 41. I'm gonna delete that. 502. Uh, 559. Here we actually don't need to pass in the logger. We just can use the same logger. That's what, 572? 590. Same thing here, I believe. Same thing here. Oh, that should be good. Did I do that on all of them? I bet I did that on all of them, didn't I? Yeah. Unbelievable. Now, start buffering. Go to start buffering, please. Okay, so I kind of feel like at this point now, I just need to. Hey, all right, 573. Where are we here? Oh, yes, I guess. Okay, we do need to do that. Okay. So, boy, all right. So I feel like I just kind of screwed myself up there. So logger, we get the logger, we pass in the logger, and then we end buffering and buffer to the state logger. Okay, or yeah. Logging, pass the logger in, and buffering. Start buffering, pass in the buffered logger, and buffering. Start logging, pass in the buffered logger, and buffering. Start buffering, pass in the buffered logger, and logging, or buffering. Start buffering, pass in the buffered logger, and buffering. Start buffering, pass in the buffered logger, and buffering. Oh, that's for instantiating the test. Okay, start buffering, pass in the buffered logger, and buffering. Start buffering, pass in the buffered logger, and buffering, right? Okay. Start buffering, pass in the buffered logger. I think this context is going to want the buffered logger. Let me just... But we pass in the buffered logger. We start buffering again. We pass in the buffered logger. Again, pass in the buffered logger. I'm going to put in a to-do here. But let's see. Okay, so we pass in the buffered logger. Then again, we get the buffered logger, pass that in, and then end buffering. Okay, so that takes us down to what, 596, so 623. Okay, so logger equals pass in the buffered logger, and this should basically be the same thing here. We run test on the buffered logger, same thing here. I kind of want to put probably not. I don't know. I feel like probably not, but I haven't really thought about it until now. So it's probably worth just taking a minute to think about that. Then we end buffering, and that should take us to the end. So what's going on here in the context? What are we doing anything with the logger in here? Yes. What are we doing with the state in here? Yeah, we're saving the results. So the context we want to give this context class its own logger, which will be the will be a buffered logger. So that's going to come right off of this. Where are we now? Okay, I guess that's it in the context. Let's just take a look here. Guess we're only using that when we run subtests. I don't know. I kind of wanted to search in there, but I guess I don't know how to just... So where does this class end? At 218? Okay, so that's it in there, I guess. Oh, right now, I guess we probably want to... start this buffering up here then, I guess, to pass in the right buffer. So that's kind of interesting. I feel like that, or you know what we'll do? When do we use this context? Not until down there. So let's do that. You know, I guess the one interesting thing about that is I didn't realize there was that like dependency there. So I guess we'll do that. Maybe we'll split this garbage out. I don't know. Then we'll do that. So we create the context, and then we run the test with the context in it. So right, none of this stuff is okay. So that took care of 570, and I guess the same thing is going to happen. And I guess really the context is done here. We could just sort of unset that context, but whatever. And then 636 we said. So same thing here. So that might actually take care of that. So now I guess it's somewhat encouraging that I have some output and I didn't just completely break everything. So where are we in? Tests, test, discovery, and then test, discover file. 166. And with my sweet new errors, I can now... So what do we want in here? I guess... Oh, the test route. $138. Looks like the same thing. Test rot, yeah. Talk about test rot. 110. 34. I have a feeling that's going to be it in that file. 34, 34, 34, 34. Yeah. Let's just see if that file's clean. Looks like it. I feel like I should have done this so much sooner than I had. Like, this quality of life improvement here is so nice. Like, it seems like such a small thing. So where's this? Where are we? 170? So where's the logger coming from? Test root. Okay. So would we say 170? Yeah, these are all functions. So the logger is just coming from that setup function. We're returning the logger and the sources directory. So 180, the short of all that is we can just set this to test root. Is this all on 180? Looks like it. And then 29. Test directories. And what? Test runner. Oops. I really need to get rid of that little test I just tossed in there because it's really screwing with my mojo. I don't know. I suppose. Where's this being called? 261? I don't know. Is that the only place it's being called? Looks like it. No, 36. Let's just 313. Test files, 840. 840, 840, 840, 840, 40. Assume that logger is, yeah. Okay. Test dependencies, 31. Thirty-one, 31, 31, 31, 31. And I think that is my failing test case that I just threw in there. So setup for test output 1, oh no's, we failed. Output from the test itself, and then 7. Okay. Sweet, sweet, sweet. guess this all looks fairly reasonable. I can delete this note down here. And I guess, well, so I guess this is gonna be like use separate buffering logger or use separate logger. For buffering is really what we did there. Hey Fern, how are you tonight? Well, night for me, I don't know what time it is for you. But hello. And I guess, so the next thing to do maybe is... Oh, okay. That's in the morning? I guess that'd probably be... Yeah. So at this point, I think I can take all of this out of here. All this buffering stuff. And now all of this goes away. What are we doing here? If this is during an error, then we just tack this onto the reason. Otherwise, we only tack it on if we're supposed to log skips. Okay. That should be it, I guess. Looks like it. I guess so. So that's kind of nice in my opinion. Damn, is it? Yeah, we can't reset this until after we call reset buffer, so that's a good change, I think. So let me just double check what we're doing here when we end the buffer. Yeah, maybe I want to just add, so if we want to clear this buffer out, or logger, what do we need to do? I guess we just need to reset this array and then clear out the events. So should I call that clear, I guess? So I guess what I want to do is don't really care what the value is. We just want to say this count I equals 0. We want to set this what events to a new array, I guess. And then that will no longer be that. What we'll do here is we'll set, we actually no longer need this root then, because we're just going to create our logger here. We no longer need to assert. And then we'll just clear out that logger. And then hopefully PHP stand will catch all those assertions I'm making, because it should always be not nullable now. Okay. Output for Matt had output, and then output for the setup, output for the teardown, and then the 2 skip tests. Okay, so I think I'm happy with that. Wait, huh? What is all this stuff that's changed? Oh yeah. Yeah. Okay. If you're still there, Fern, you got anything planned for your Sunday? Remove buffering logic from the logger. What do I have up there? Work? Go private there for a second. Just make sure I'm logged into GitHub. Looks like I am. In fact, everything already passed. That's good. That makes us happy. So there you can see the improvements in PHP since 5.3 to 8.2. It went from the runtime was cut almost in half, and it went from what to like over 8 megs to 3. And what's that saying for 8.1? 3821. I think it went down a little bit more, huh? Okay, so that's they're doing some work, I guess. They're doing some work. They're adding value. So now, is there anything else I really want to do with this? I guess not really. The events all seem fairly straightforward to me. I mean, they're just simple structs, basically. I guess one thing I was thinking about doing maybe is just turning this log into a simple struct. Like I'm beginning to wonder where I'm even using these so what is this 296? Oh, this stuff. This is just to initialize this array. Then that's that. Then we actually define them. And then output. I don't believe we're even using this in the output anymore, are we? Yeah, where are we using these event types? We're not. Okay. So we can get rid of these constants. So that's fun. That's always fun. So let's do that. I say we do that. But I may want to just squish all this buffering work down to one commit. Because I feel like this is basically going to boil down to like one clean commit. Where is this? In Discovery. So this is just all changing where we pick the logger off of. This is... Oh, we're passing the state in instead of the logger because we want a buffer there. Same thing there. That's basically just moving those functions to methods. Added the logger and the buffer to the global state. Then this is just in the runner, just updating where and then we're in the tests, right? So, okay, that's what I'm going to do. Now, what did I change? Oh, yeah, I deleted. I think I just deleted some white space. Or I added some white space. Oops. All right, so base this off of work. I guess we'll squash that, and then we'll just fix those two up. use a separate logger for test buffering. Seems like a halfway decent commit message to me. So we'll delete rebase. We'll delete buffering. We'll delete this work in progress. And I guess I'll just, if those tests pass, I guess I'll actually just merge that in the trunk. Oh, for Christ's sake. All right, I'm actually going to take a, like 2 minutes to go do a beverage refill. So I will be back, well, in like 2 minutes. I may have just beat the timer there. It's time for pretzel, I think. Okay. Back at it. No rest for the wicked. So I am going to just turn this log into a flat up struct because, oops, literally every function in there is just an accessor, which in my opinion is dumb. And if somebody wants to screw up their log, I feel like that's not really my problem. So we're going to have pass count. And what have we got? Failure. Boy. Me trying to talk sometimes, it's pass. Well, these are all vars, so I don't actually need to put the name. The name of the property there. So we have pass, failure count, error count, skip count, output count. And then the array of events. I think I'm going to keep that called megabytes used. Time total. So pass count, failure count, error count, skip count, output count. And bye-bye, silly accessors. Okay, choke it up on me, PHP stand. So log pass count. We're basically gonna just need to manually set all this. And what the heck is error, fail, skip, output? Error, failure, skip. Posed myself there. Output. So this is error, event fail, event skip, and event output, right? Skip, fail, error, pass. Okay. We can't really set seconds or megabytes, I guess. So maybe I should indicate that in the logger. I don't know. Maybe not. Because like I feel like this log might actually end up being like an API for people that want to implement their own outputters or reporting. In that case, the log is going to come directly from the logger. It's going to come from the framework, and it's going to set those flags. So I feel like it's probably not worth worrying about it. All right, so 290. What are you talking about? I feel like that's not actually the case, but okay. Oh, I made these all. In that case, those errors do make sense. Oh. And maybe just because. All right, so now I just got to update. This is going to be. Yeah, megabytes used. What happens if I just delete that? Oh, and I also want to delete that. Walk me through it there, PHP Stan. Output. Where is... Wait, where was output? Oh. Output was just the output count. And then I think when 6 did I... Oops. Was it failure count? Uh-oh. $141. 113. 37. Huh? Get test discover file. What's wrong? In test. Cert file discovery. Something's not right there. I'm pretty sure this is in setup. Yes. So how's that breaking? We're like swallowing something we shouldn't be swallowing. So let's see what's going on here. Let's just pick one of these tests. Did I save this? No. So we had 65 errors, so 62, but let's... tests, test discovery, test discover file, function equals that. So we want to go to, I suppose, error from exception. So break source log.php 425. Oh, so all right, so this is not actually working right. Um, so I don't know. It's almost like we want to. Um, I was gonna say it's like we almost want to do that check on file online, but I guess. So what are we doing here? So I guess what we're gonna want to do is something like throw an additional check in here, where if does not equal exception get file, then we want file to be equal to get file, and result file equals this the substring business here. And then line is just going to equal line equals. So, so I'm just trying to think if there's ever a case where, so now the only thing we would potentially have to guard against is if file is in the Strangetest source directory. Is it possible we don't have a backtrace that would otherwise generate? So what's going to happen here, right? We don't have a backtrace. I guess I would catch it anyway, right? Because we've set file and line here. So file and line would never be set. Right, so if this somehow was in the Strangetest source directory and we didn't have a backtrace, that would so right, this is in the source, right, we get 0, so this is in the Strangetest source directory. We don't set any of this. So then you create an empty backtrace, right? And if we somehow did not generate a backtrace, um, file and line would not be set, and then we'd set it to basically what we would have otherwise done. So there we go. There we go. Hey, Luxvis. How are you tonight? Well, tonight for me anyway. I don't know what time it is for you, but how are you? So this is an all in setup 65. Oh, okay. All right. Oh, yeah, okay. So you're pretty close to me. A couple hours later. I'm doing well. I'm doing well. Just doing a little programming on a Saturday night. Oh, okay. I'm in Chicago, in the United States. I guess Brazil gets pretty far east. That's correct, yeah. This is actually it right here running on itself. These are tests that are failing in my own test framework. That's all in 187. I am, yes. Although I sometimes struggle with it because I haven't been using Neofim for super long. I guess so. I guess so. Well, I'm not so young as I used to be, so I guess it applies. Are you a programmer or? Oh no, wait, that's in test directories. What's the problem here? Test runner. This logger, get logger. Oh, did I just? Oh. Yeah, you've actually been working with PHP a little bit longer than I have, I guess. I guess you were probably still working with PHP back in the PHP 4 days, huh? So it sounds like you're not like a big JavaScript fan either. Oh, wait a minute. $467. 467. Okay. Yeah, I haven't well, I don't professionally program anymore, although I'm hoping to get back into the industry, but I haven't had the pleasure of using or of learning all those JavaScript frameworks. But now that I'm kind of started interviewing with some places, they're all like, "Do you know React? Do you know Angular?" I'm like, "Well, I know JavaScript and I know TypeScript, but." So technically, I did two things there, which I guess if I wanted to be an OCD clean commit, I should split out into commits. But I don't remember how to do an interactive add. Which would be in what? Just log? So for React Native mobile, does that like do you mean like creating native user interfaces on the phone, or do you mean doing like mobile websites, like websites that um what do you call it? They sort of display differently if they detect they're on a smaller screen. I think I want I. Okay, so help. Pick hunks. That's what I want to do. I want to pick hunks. Oh, I gotta what? I gotta pick a number. Pick one. Oh, pick one. Okay. So let's do it. All right. Yes. I'm gonna go with N being no. 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 So status. Okay. So now what? Diff. One. Okay. So I guess I want to update. And quit. Yeah, let's do one. Do it. So now what? Quit. Why did that? Did I not hit no for all of that? I thought I hit no. Okay, well that was an epic failure. I'm not doing very well, as you can see. Okay, let's try this again. So JIT add interactive source log. So what are my options? Yes, stage this hunk. Okay, so stage that hunk and quit. Can I just quit now? Okay. All right, that's what I wanted to do. So I've had this project sitting around for a while. Um, the one I'm working on, the testing framework, and I kind of just wanted to do some streaming of programming, and because like I'm most familiar with PHP and it's a project I've had for a while, I decided it would be a good project to start streaming on. But I guess I'm kind of more interested in sort of systems programming stuff these days, like C or C++. So I guess that's kind of why I'm working on this type of project, even though it's a PHP project. But we'll see what happens with trying to get a job too. This is probably like the third or fourth, maybe even the fourth version of this framework too, but it's the one that survived the longest. Because I also had this as a project when I was relatively new, like a relatively new PHP programmer, to just as kind of a learning project. And actually, the origins of this project were the was it the that test driven development by example book. Yeah, this one. Because actually, half the second half of the book, he actually uh, this part two, he actually kind of walks you through using TDD to develop a test framework, and that was kind of my model for getting started. What branch am I on? Um, yeah. Well, so this one, well, I haven't really used Laravel. I feel like Laravel got really popular after I stopped working with PHP, but I use PHP unit, and so this is kind of more of a competitor to PHP unit, I guess. But I actually, this is actually it here. I splurged for a URL. So if you're interested in it at all, that's it. And then here's the source repository up on GitHub. So I don't know if you're still working with PHP or you're at all interested, but if you are, there's the links. um, Cool. Yeah, it's a little bit modeled off of. I can't do the same sort of things. I don't know if you're familiar with Python at all, but it's a little bit modeled after like Python knows or PyTest. So let me. I don't know, my tests. I'm not gonna lie, are a bit of a mess because well, one of the problems I've quickly learned with test-driven development is as your APIs and everything start to change, all your tests break, and so not that not having the tests is useful, but I feel like when I make changes, I spend more time fixing my tests. That sometimes they're actually broken because I broke something, but most of the time it's just, oh, I changed the API and now I have to rewrite all my tests. But anyway, the point is like just anything you declare with a class or any class that is started with the name test and any methods on there that begin with the name test is automatically picked up by the framework. But then also you can just use regular functions as well. So it automatically finds the functions, and then it also just uses directory and file names. So like you'll note all my tests for the project. I don't know, my head might be in the way there. But all my tests are in a directory called tests, and then all my test files begin with the name test. So that was kind of the inspiration to just automatically find all the tests, and you don't have to like subclass from PHP unit. And I think back in the day when I was using it, PHP unit, you had to like explicitly create a test runner to like add all your tests in. But that's just kind of the quick overview, I guess. Wait, that should not be clean. What did I do? Did I... Yeah, that's what I did. So check out what I did. I did add an interactive, do an interactive add with that one source file, and then just out of sheer habit, then I added the rest of the files. I give up. I give up. I don't care anymore. That's what happens when you code on a Saturday night, I guess. uh, I don't even know how to like undo that, so I'm just not going to worry about it. Yeah. Oh yeah, yeah. Well, I was a little bit distracted too. Not that I'm blaming you or anything, but it's just yeah, it's just the stupid things that you do sometimes when you're not paying attention. And it's literally like 6 lines of code. Yeah. Well, I don't use the interactive add. I usually only use about 4 or 5 commands myself. That's maybe the second time I've used the interactive add. I'm just not going to worry about it. So I guess the other thing I wanted to do was Oops. If I can get the right file open here. Is I want to get rid of these constants. So this is just going to go to... And actually, where's my logger? This is all going to just turn into this. Except these are going to be private. So this is going to go to pass count, failure count, error count, skip count, output count. And then this is just going to go to pass count, error count, failure count, skip count, output count. Oh. Skip count. I don't know. I guess I could just do this. Whatever. So pass count, error count, those all go to 0. Oh. Well, no, because I don't want it to this is just sort of clearing out the count. Because one of the things I'm doing is oh yeah. I don't even know how that's going to work anymore with PHP 8.2. Because PHP 8.2 is like deprecating dynamic properties on objects, so I don't know what happens if you try to unset one. Oh, yeah. Oh, that's right. I was actually running tests here. Oh. Okay, so what's going on here? Did I screw something up? Oh, test setup? No, test setup. So what did we get for expected? Yeah. Yeah, I'm on 8.1 right now too. That should not have changed anything. So I must have pass error failure skip output. Oh, I suppose I should initialize these 0. Yeah, okay. Still seems like a strange message to get to me. But I wonder why that would have been. I'll put log. Oh, because we're... Yeah, because we're doing a strict comparison, and if those were never set, yeah, 0 does not strictly equal null. So now where do I have those constants set? Just in main, where they're defined, not being used. Bye-bye. And that broke a bunch of tests, of course. 44. Oh, yeah, I was using that for... So maybe I don't want to delete those yet, just because this has been... I'm going to need to figure out how to restructure my tests. Yeah, no worries, Luxvis. Thanks for stopping in. Oh, and I see you just followed. Appreciate the follow. Yeah, thanks so much for stopping in. Have a good one. Enjoy the rest of your night or morning. So how many tests do I have failing? I guess one thing I could do to cheese this is it's just to find these and define these here maybe. So let's do that. Let's rerun all this. So where are we in? So Strangetest. Event. Actually, let's oops. Test, discovery, directory, test targets, test process user targets. Test directories. Test files. Okay, easy enough. But I'm not gonna lie, I am a little bit grumpy about um, screwing up that commit. So actually, I don't want to. I don't think that's how you spell nonsense either way, but I guess we want to check. We want to check it off of there. Um, so I guess I'm gonna have to go to the tubes for this. Git cherry pick on stage. So I guess that's what it's saying. Okay, well. So we're gonna cherry pick work. We're gonna restore staged. We're gonna patch that. Oh, I guess I need to. Oh, for Christ's sake. I'm really struggling. This is just fighting me as much as it possibly can, isn't it? Okay. To get a 6-line, to get like a 6-line code commit. Okay, so let me pick this stuff. Yes. Do that and quit and quit. This is what I wanted to do. No, don't add. Don't add. Good Lord, I'm... Fix reporting of exception, yes. Now we can add the rest. To a simple struct. Okay, let's check out the commit nonsense. Well, actually, let's check out rebase off of the commit nonsense. Okay, so now with all that done, let's delete fix commit. Yeah, please just get rid of it. What else do we have here? And I guess we're just going to get rid of work, and then we're going to rebase to work. And let's just push that up. All right. That might be about all I want to get done tonight. What are the chances I actually got this right? Okay. Okay. Oops. Oh, I kicked my pretzels. And let me guess, I have unsaved changes sitting there? No. Okay. So where are we here? Yeah, we got rid of those silly constants. So what is going on in output here? I suspect what is using output? That seems very dumb to me. How do I match on Perl? Can't remember anymore. I guess what we can do is okay, that's actually not too much. So if I'm reading this correctly, it's actually not being called. I guess we could just do that and see what anybody has to say about anything. Oh, yeah. Okay, right here. I guess I got to think about how I want to do this. I mean, this seems exceedingly dumb to me. I mean, I guess the thinking is right. Again, having like the ability to generate different reports, but right, this stuff here is kind of command line parsing stuff. Where are we here? Parse arguments. So, and this is right, like, if we're gonna have like a totally different execution environment, like, I don't know, somebody's gonna run this in a web browser or something, that would need like a different entry point, which is different than saying, oh, okay, we want to output the final report in a different format than just a text, excuse me, a command line output. But like if we're coming in through main and parsing arguments, then I don't think I need to like abstract away that, okay, this is the terminal and we can just print directly to the terminal. Because I think, what am I using this? Oh, it's namespace out, yeah. So I guess I'm just using this to output the version and then the help string. Which is like, just echo it. Excuse me. And then what are we doing with, what do we have? Output header? Um, get version must include, yeah, all right. This might actually make sense, this output header. I don't know, maybe not. I mean, I feel like it makes sense, but just maybe that should be something more than just the name of the program and the version, but or something different. But it's kind of hard to tell without sort of somebody implementing their own wanting to implement their own outputter or something. So, okay, so what else do we have in there? Then we have this format message from event and then the output log. And this should probably become part of the outputter. I don't know. Hmm. Of course, the only thing about adding that then to like the log outputter interface is then the buffer has to implement that function just to satisfy the interface. So that seems a little bit janky to me. I don't know. I guess this is all kind of small potatoes kind of stuff. Or we create a separate interface, which is like the reporter, because this is actually kind of, this output log is really like generating the report, the final test report. So I guess that's something I can think about. I guess the only thing then, right, if somebody then wanted to implement sort of their own reporter, we're kind of talking that there's two interfaces they would need to implement. This kind of log outputter, and then like the final reporter. So I don't know. I don't know. Let me take a look at the to-do list. Right, we're in a clean directory right now. Yeah. So this is all stuff to test. This is actually done. That's done. This is all testing stuff. That's all testing stuff. So in terms of features, there's very little left to implement. Okay. Link. Okay, what branch am I even on anymore? Okay, I'm calling this a chunk of work or a hunk. I feel like is more the JIT terminology. JIT merge work. How are we doing on clock? How's the clock doing? Okay, we added a couple hundred lines, I think, maybe. Let me just make sure nothing mysterious happened and that everything just suddenly decided to break. Actually, while we're sitting here waiting for the oh, okay. I doubt anybody is watching me, but if somebody is watching me, oh, theoretically there is somebody watching me. So I wonder if I should do a raid. Although I don't know, to be honest, assuming that person even sticks around, assuming Twitch knows how to count, which I'm not convinced it does, I would feel a little foolish just raiding with. It's not a very large raid, you know. Let's see if there's even anybody worth raiding. Maybe John Blow is playing solitaire again. He's not. Okay. What do we got? So, oh, there's me. See if we gotta get past all the people that are for some reason sitting in their living rooms playing Apex. Um, I don't know. Nothing's really calling out to me. Oh, somebody's building a WordPress theme. All right, so let me see if I can figure out how to do this. Uh, I suppose I should try and figure out how to do this before. Okay, we're gonna go raid Arth Vader, who is developing a WordPress theme. So I guess I'll find out if it's just me by myself or anybody's with me. But if anybody is lurking, then I appreciate you joining me. Also, if anybody's watching this VOD after the fact, appreciate you joining me. And whoever or whenever you are, take care of yourself. And I bid you peace. So here we go.